Welcome back to the Tiny Channel, the Tiny Music Channel. Hope you're doing well. I am pretty excited about this episode because I get to share with you how I get to be broke but still have cool shit. That is important because most musicians are broke. It's just a fact. You're probably broke. You sitting there drinking the cheap beer with no pants.
Put on some pants!
I see you. You're broke. It's cool. I'm here to help you, right? Not all of us have $2,500, $2,000 to blow on a JCM 800 head, especially not in our apartment where we have to crank that son of a bitch and blow the windows out and then get the cops called on us because our neighbors are pissed. So I'm here to introduce you to the world of amp sims. Now, if you already have some amp sims, maybe you don't know about this one. If you do, maybe you haven't tried this one. If you have, whatever. You don't have to watch this. Maybe that'll give you some ideas, whatever. If you don't know about amp sims or you don't have amp sims, never tried them, I'm going to give you a little history here of my experience. I tried my first amp sim in 2008, I want to say. I got a Toneport UX1 interface, and that was a line 6. And with it, you got access to what I believe was called Gearbox, and it was just awful. No offense, line 6. It was just bad. It worked at the time. I thought it was great because I didn't know anything about anything, and I could record into my computer, which was awesome to me. You know, I had a Mac, I had Logic, and I could record my guitar and thought that I was a professional musician. But years down the line, listening to some of the stuff that I made on MySpace, not so great. So, yeah, I tried another one in 2016, roughly, 2017, 8 years later, 9 years later, whatever. And it was okay. I don't even remember what it was, but I was just playing with stuff. I was working on recording again and relearning a few things, and it was all right. But still not quite where I wanted it to be. I love tube amps. I love there's just something about a tube amp, that tone that you can't really get with anything else. Minus the expensive amp modelers. I think there's always a little something missing. But this one, I saw an ad for this one on Facebook a few months ago, and it kept saying STL tones, and it had these guys playing, and they were kicking ass and playing these really chuggy metal tunes, and I was like, there's no fucking way they're using that plugin. Man, they were probably using this plugin. It sounds great. I'm really impressed with STL. It's called AmpHub. It is powered by Ignite amps. I've never tried an Ignite amp. I honestly didn't even know what Ignite amps was before this plugin. But man, they did a great job. I love this whole program. So let's dive in here without delaying too much because I really don't want this to be too long a video. But there's a lot to go over. They've really opened this up and made it really versatile. You can do so much in here. So let's do it. So you got the welcome screen, right? That's what I was playing on when you first came in. These are your presets. You have a number of presets. I've added some, so don't be fooled. You will not have all these. Some of these are just for me.
No touchy.
If we come up here, we can start with our little 80s preset, right? Sounds pretty 80s. So you've got your presets. Let's try one more, and then we'll move on. 51, 53, 33. Ooh. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We've got a lot of really good presets in here. You can play with these and use what some of the people who helped develop this, I'm assuming, or at least people who use it, have made for presets. You can also save your own. So if I play with these and I use, save as new preset in a different bank, it will give me a list of the banks that I already have. I can click new bank, create a new one. I can change the names, blah, 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 blah. Now, you have all your basic, controls here. Your input volume, you can click this guy, and if you... So it chose what it believed was the right decibel level, the right input level for me, right? And you can choose your pickup output and all that good stuff. You've got your noise gate, so if I turn it all the way down, it goes like this. If you put it at a nice little volume over here, it kicks in. You have your tuner, which, works like a tuner. Ooh, out of tune. Oh, there we go, much better. You have a selection of stomp boxes, which are all over the place right now, because why not? So you come in here, you've got ambiance, bass, boost, distortion, dynamics. We're going to throw an overdrive over here, but we're not going to turn it on yet because, I love my overdrives. Crank the level up, the drive down, the tone right at noon, just the way I usually like them. But we're going to keep it off, right? Now you go over here, and you have all of these amp heads. Now these, they've got all sorts of good stuff in here. You've got orange. You've got, of course, Ignite amps. You've got your Mesas, your Marshalls, Angles. I love Angles. Your EVH. They've got the old school, PVs. Not old school, but your 6505s. If you don't want to go with the EVHs. They've got everything, man. They got so much cool stuff. Crankenstein. So there's a ton to choose from here. Let's go with that. Let's go with that Crankenstein, right? And then if you come over here, you have a full range of options for speakers, cabs, all sorts of good stuff, microphones. So I'm going to keep this really simple. You can choose two different cabs if you wanted to. So if I wanted to go to a Mesa with a vintage 30 with an SM57, and then over here I wanted to go with I think this is an orange with a G12M, and we'll do a ribbon microphone, right? So if you got the Cali, which is the Mesa, can change your speaker or your mic position. You can come over here, try this mic. It's pretty good. I'm going to turn this output down. I like it. Now, I'm going to just keep, like I said, I'm going to keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. You can link these up, so if you move one, you can move the other one on the other side. I'm just going to do that with all of them for right now. Your high pass and low pass filters, your resonance. I'm going to keep that resonance right at noon. The room, the mic angle. You can see how that moves the mic angle. Mic distance. So if you were using like a ribbon microphone and you want to kind of back it off a little bit, or you know, whatever you want to do. However you want to mess with it, play with it. You also have the option to use an external impulse response, right? So all sorts of goody goods. I do want to try the Ola England impulse response packs and play with those a little bit. I think Spectre Sounds has a pretty decent selection of those, Glenn Fricker. So maybe I'll play with those sometime soon if I find a good one. I'm sure they're all good. I know that Ola's got some. He's got some pretty good ones. So, but we're gonna go with the SM57 on the Vintage 30 Mesa, and we're gonna keep it like right in the middle here. All right, and let's do this. Let's. Crank that gain a little bit. Yeah, now let's turn the stomp box on. I didn't know we had the EQ on. All right, let's try and make one more chug. Well, we got to go old school, right? Well, not old school. I keep saying that. It's not old school. It's not the 5150. It's the 6505. But let's go 6505 plus because it's a really popular amp. And then let's see. I want an orange G12M with, I don't know, let's play with these. I think that sounds pretty brutal. We've already got the tube screamer. Do we want to play with anything else? I don't know. I don't really see anything. I'm pretty simple. I don't really mess with the ton. I just like my overdrives. Sometimes my chorus, if you're doing your 80s tones, or my Zakk Wylde tones or whatever. You got some volumes and wahs and all sorts of cool stuff to play with. Distortion pedals, but I think we're going to keep that just like it is. Let's turn that up to 6. resonance, presence. I kind of like the presence where it's at. Maybe bring it up a little bit. Yeah. Now let's mix these two. Oh, we're clipping. It's too much. All right, I'm going to bring the resonance down over here. Bring this a little closer. Yeah, that's crunchy. You can do a little bit of a high pass too if you feel like you want to dial off some of the low. All right, you get one more. Got to go with everybody's favorite amp. I love Maces. All right, so we're going to go without this. We're going to go here. We got to use the Maces, right? 57. And then let's go with a ribbon. All right, we're going to turn this master up. All right, so these two channels sound different, right? Let's go with the classic Mesa red channel. We're going to get the bass up here a little bit. All you kids like to scoop your mids these days. We're going to crank up the gain. And then, of course, Tube Screamer. Got some cleans. And then right back in. See, I wish I had a pedal that could control all that. Can you tell me what that is? 1, 2, 3, 4, go! Can you? Can you? Okay. Fine. One more, but we're going to go for a different sound, all right? We are going to go for an old school. Let's go Plexi, man. Right? Let's turn this overdrive off. Let's just see how that plexi sounds by itself. We're going to go here. 1 cab, British G12H, SM57. It sounds pretty good. It's bring the bass up a little bit. See how it sounds with that overdrive. Man, I feel like you could kind of get away with. Bring off the mids a little bit. All right, ready? We're going to go overdrive. SD1. Bring everything over. Oh, get out of here. And then we'll go up here. Get something a little more bassy. And then, of course, we got to go with chorus. Ooh. All right, that's all you get. We are already like 25, 26 minutes into this stupid video. You get the gist. You can do a lot of cool shit for $10 a month, right? You've got effects, you've got stomp boxes, you've got amps, you got cabs, you got impulse responses, you got a tuner. For those of you who don't know how to stay in tune, do that. You can save all your stuff. You can use it in your DAW. You can use it. I just used it in band practice because I didn't want to haul all my equipment. We had direct input to a PA, so I just kind of threw my shit in there, right? You can use it for all sorts of stuff. There's a ton of features. You can, routing, mono, stereo, that kind of stuff. Just play with it. But you get the general idea. For $10 a month, you get a ton of options in here, right? I really hope this helped. I hope you can kind of see how many options you have for tone and things of that nature, and how little you have to spend to sound okay. If you're recording at home, if you're going to start recording at home, get yourself an amp sim. And it's so much easier if you don't know how to mic an amp, if you don't know, if you live in an apartment like me and you can't crank up your amps, whatever. Get an amp sim. Try it. $10. What can go wrong, right? As usual, have fun, keep playing, stay metal, and put some pants on, for Christ's sake. Have a good day.